last card you have for your past is the Ace of Swords. An ace, that's really amazing. So yes, I'm seeing you, sorry about that noise. Again, I always apologize for the noise all the time. Yes, you're trying as hard as you can. This is about putting your emotions aside and putting your logic at the center of things. That's what I'm seeing. So yes, you're trying to put your emotions to one side at this time and use your mind to make some sort of decision or work out things in your life, work out some sort of emotional things that were going on. I'm just thinking that for a long time you were letting your emotions take over. Your emotions were taking over your thoughts and over your decisions as well. And I'm not seeing that you meant this to happen. You didn't mean this to happen. But that's what was happening. So it's like they were clouding your thoughts. It was like, there could have been some bad decisions made even. And I'm even seeing some decisions in love I'm seeing in your more distant past. We just totally went with your emotions, totally went with that. Logic went out the window, everything else threw away. And you're like, I'm in love, I'm chasing this person. And yes, it was a disaster. So now what's happened at this time in your past is you're saying, I'm going to throw emotion out and I'm going to think of only logical things. That's what I'm seeing. So you're thinking, right, how many times did this person say this? How many times have they spoken to me in the week? How many times? And it's a numbers game. It's a game of logic. And that doesn't work when it comes to emotions either. So I'm seeing that, you threw one thing out and you went for another thing. But actually what it's going to have to be is a balance between these two things. You're going to have both logic and emotions in there to make these kinds of decisions and to work through this in your life. And you will come back to this balance eventually. You will come back to this. But at this time it's all logic. And yes, you're going to come back into balance. That's what I'm seeing as you work through this. But yes, first you're emotional, and then you're only rational. That's it. You will get this balance back. It's just a process and it takes time. You are working through this process. You are working inside yourself, sorting all of this out. That's what you're doing at this time. You could still be doing this. The next card you have, your past, is the Sun. I love this beautiful card. I'm seeing clarity and I'm seeing things becoming a lot more clearer for you at this time. When the sun comes out, things are a lot clearer, a lot brighter. You can see things, you can see everything that's going on. And, as you're still working through this process of trying to sort out some emotional problems you were going through, and this is going to sound really strange. I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you what I see. This is really strange. I'm seeing a father. This is about a father or a father figure. Something or someone or whatever it was, when you're going through this process inside yourself, trying to sort through your emotions, trying to grow emotionally, that's what you're trying to do, and that's fantastic. Something could have reminded you of a father or a father figure or something like that. Now, you were supposed to think of this for some reason. Maybe you had a father figure that had some information for you, or used to have a saying that you had to remember, or they had some positive thing to say, or it was some information for you to remember. So think about that. That's what I'm seeing. It might be crazy, it might make no sense to you, but I had to say that was what I was seeing there. Something brought up some memories of a father or a father figure. Could be a grandfather, could be someone who's male, who's older than you, who you've looked up to, something like that. But just think about who this might be. Think about things this person said in the past. They might be here, they might not be here anymore. Just think about what they used to say, what advice they said to you. Just think about this, just think about that. There's some information coming there from a father or a father figure. That's what I'm seeing. The last card you have, your past, is the Eight of Wands. So yes, there was a lot of movement going on, but I'm seeing this movement was actually internal. This was internal movement. Again, I'm seeing you going through this process. You're going through this, or you were at this time of inner growth. I'm saying you are because you probably still are. That's why that's coming out. And I'm also seeing you hearing, yes, you're wanting to communicate. That's why I'm seeing hearing, because it's communication. You're wanting to communicate with someone, or you were at this time. You're wanting to come and You're holding back on speaking to someone at this time, but you really, really wanted to come forward and tell them something. Someone was assuming something about you, and it wasn't correct. It could be gossip, or it could be some information they had about you that wasn't correct, and you wanted to come and correct this. You wanted to come and talk to them, and you could have been thinking about this at this time, putting them straight. I'm not seeing any arguments, but I am seeing that you're starting to become more assertive, or you were at this time. And as you work through this process inside yourself, you're going to become more and more assertive and a lot stronger as you keep working through this. And I think, in your last reading, you had things about working through things, working through your emotions, working through all of that, or whatever that was with yourself, something like that. And this is what I'm seeing you're doing here. And this is really good. It's not easy, but it's good. The first card you have your present is the Four of Swords. So again, I'm sorry if this is repetitive. I keep on seeing this internal growth process that you're going through. And, you could be keeping away from a lot of people at this time as well. This is you lying down, just being by yourself. And there's someone who you're usually close to, I'm seeing. There are a few people, but there is someone who you're usually a bit close to. And this could be for single people, or maybe not. I'm just seeing that there's someone who you could have started talking to. You do have a connection with someone. With this person, I'm seeing you wanting to. Usually, you want to be close to this person. You really like talking to them. All of that kind of thing. There could be a romantic connection, or you could have been hoping that there was one, or they could have been, or both of you, or something like that. But at this time, you're going to want to distance yourself from this person for a while. I hope this makes sense, but I am seeing you struggling to explain how you're feeling to a lot of people around you, why you're feeling like this. A lot of people don't understand when someone wants to be by themselves. There are a lot of people who love being around people all the time. They love talking constantly. They love popping in and out of everyone else's house, always talking, always being with people. And yes, there's nothing wrong with being quiet or being with people. There's nothing wrong with either things. But at this time, this is something you need. It's not something that you're just thinking, I feel like being by myself. This is something you need. You need to be by yourself at this time because you're going through this process, and it's only you that can go through this by yourself. That's what I'm seeing. So you might have to try and explain things to people, but they might not really truly understand. This is just something that you're going to have to do, or that you have to do. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have, your present, is the Eight of Swords. So yes, your emotions are still going to be up and down. There's still some tension around you. I keep on seeing that there is a lot of tension actually, but it's not going to be constantly tense all the time that you're going through this process. You're going to go through a lot of different kinds of emotions. And yes, I hope this makes sense, but I'm seeing you, again, I'm seeing you struggling to articulate how you're feeling to other people. But this is about, you might be struggling to articulate how you feel to yourself. You have all these feelings, jumbled up feelings, and it's like a big spider web of feelings, and you can't unravel them, and you can't explain how you feel, and you can't explain what you're thinking and feeling and talking about. I'm seeing that you could also be emotionally restricted, or feeling emotionally restricted by some people around you as well. And this could be why you feel like being by yourself as well, because there could be some people trying to ask you, why do you want to be by yourself? Why are you doing this? Because I am seeing people who don't understand why you need to be by yourself. But I think you're just going to do this retreating. You're just going to be all by yourself. It's not an easy process. It isn't. You're going to have these horrible trapped feelings. A lot of things from the past are going to come up. This is part of the process. Yes, it's not easy, but you'll do it. You'll get through this. I know you will. The last card you have, your present, is the Eight of Pentacles. Again, yes, you're working really hard on this process. This is hard work going through this. Again, this is about being by yourself, working by yourself, to the point where you don't care what other people even think of you. You don't care that you need to be by yourself. You don't care how others see you at this time. You just need to do what you need to do. That's what I'm seeing. If you look at the man in this card, he has holes in his clothes, raggy clothes. He doesn't care. He's concentrating on what he's doing. Anything could come past. An elephant with $1 million on its back saying, please take me, could be coming past him. He's not going to look up and see that. He's concentrating on what he's doing. That's you. And this is how you have to be for a while. This is how you have to be, just by yourself, concentrating on yourself, working through what you need to work through. That's what I'm seeing. The first card you have for your future is the Hanged Man. Right, so yes, as you keep going through this process, it's still going to happen in the future. There are going to be some people who are going to be feeling a little bit left out. Again, I'm seeing this happening again. People not understanding why you need to be by yourself, I should say. Sorry about that noise going past. There's one specific person who you usually feel really close to, and you're going to feel really close to this person. At this time, you still feel close to them, but you will be distant. You can't help yourself. You're going to have to be distant. Now, this person might feel left out, sidelined, left hanging there, without you telling them what you're doing. So if they're feeling like that, I'm seeing this person's going to be a bit quiet. They're not going to tell you. They're a quiet kind of a person. And they're just going to hold back from you and say, well, I don't know why this person isn't saying anything to me. I'm just going to hang back and not say anything. But they're hurting inside. They're going to be hurting inside. That's what I'm seeing. So if you know who this is, if this resonates, if you know a quiet person who, when they're hurt, they won't say anything, go and speak to this person. Just explain what's going on. Even if you can't, even if you know they won't understand, just try your best, because I'm seeing they're going to appreciate you taking the trouble to try and speak to them and explain this to them. The next card you have for your future is Judgment. So yes, this is what's going to happen to you. You're going to rise up. When you've been through this really, really challenging time, this has been a time of looking at yourself, examining yourself inside and out, examining other people who've been around you, examining situations you've been in. I can't say when this process will finish. It's different for every person. It's going to be different for each person. Each different individual person is going to finish when they're ready. When this does happen, though, a lot of things in your heart and in your mind, you are going to let go of these things. You're going to lay things to rest. That's what this Judgment is about. Laying things to rest, putting things down and moving up, putting your arms up and moving up. That's what I'm seeing. And there's one specific thing I'm seeing here that you could have been blaming yourself for a long time. It's that thing that you think of when you think about it. You get that sinking feeling. You think, oh, why did I do this? Why me? I'm hopeless. It's that kind of sinking feeling. Think about what that is. You're going to let this go. You're going to finally let this go at this time, and then you're going to move up. You're going to throw up your arms and move forward. This is going to be a huge relief for you. That's what I'm seeing. When you're relieved, you throw up your arms and say, oh, finally. That's what I'm seeing with this card. The last card you have for your future is the Six of Pentacles. Yes, once this is all over, and you're able to fill yourself up again with more positive things, you're going to feel whole again. You're going to feel yourself again. You're going to be able to help others as well that you haven't been able to help for a long time because you just didn't have it in you. Now at this time you will. I don't mean financially. It might be financially, but I don't mean that. I mean with your heart. I'm seeing a specific person who you wanted to help, and you're going to start to help this person. You're going to take care of them. You're going to advise them. You're going to just put your arms around them, and you're going to help them. And what I'm seeing here as well is, if you look at the scales on this card, I'm just seeing that there's an imbalance with these scales. One is up above the other one, because that's what this card's about. And that's how you used to feel, imbalanced, emotionally imbalanced. But after this process is finished, you're going to be balanced. You're going to be full. You're going to be able to help people again. That's what I'm seeing.